At this time, I would like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I will turn it over to Mrs. Phillips for our mission statement.
Our mission statement is to educate, empower, and inspire the whole child.
Thank you. At this time, it is our Board of Education report, and I would like to formally introduce you all to our superintendent that we chose during our superintendent search. This was a long, hard, sought out, but the board wanted to make the best decision that we could possibly make. Tonight is not a formal reception, but we did want to at least inform our stakeholders, our teachers, our administrators, and everyone who stuck with us through this process. We did want to at least bring her in so you all can see that we did select a candidate for our upcoming 2022 to 2025 school year. So we will have our Dr. Tiffany Brunson come in or stand up just to say a couple words and introduce herself. As the new superintendent of the elementary school district 159, would you like to come up to the podium?
Testing. All right, gotta love technology. I just want to say hello, and I'm looking forward to meeting each and every one of you, and then thinking about what we're going to do, moving ESD 159 forward, talking to everyone, understanding what your experiences have been, and actually, what can we do collectively, and where do we want to go, who do we want to be, and all of the great things that you all have accomplished, and then I want to work together to see how we can build upon those and just move us in a new pathway forward. So thank you so much, and we'll get a chance to get to know each other. And I want to thank the board for selecting me. I'm so excited I'm here with my family, and I don't know, I'm just ready to get to work. Oh yeah, my family, my mother-in-law, my son, my sister-in-law. My husband is not here. The train that he was on had an accident. You probably have heard about it on the news, and actually he was on the train that hit someone that died. So he's stuck on that train for a couple of hours, so he isn't here. But we didn't let that bad news keep us from being here. So I want to thank everyone for allowing me to be here and share this moment with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And the board, of course, working with you as well, with our stakeholder, our community, and with our superintendent that will be leaving, Dr. Renewal, who we had the pleasure of working with for the last couple of years. This is an exciting transition that the board looks forward to as a whole on how to continue to build our district and move us forward. So thank you again. Thank you so much, Dr. Alfred, for welcoming and being, a part of our superintendent search as well. So thank you so much, and we look forward to it. And district, again, thank you so much for being a part of our, when we had the session where the community came out, our educators, our administrators, our parents, all came out to help us walk away. This has definitely been a long, long journey, but we have finally crossed the finish line, and we look forward to doing many more things in elementary school district 159. So thank you. We do not plan on going to closed session tonight, so at that time we will have opportunity to just give brief questions or to formally give a handshake to our new superintendent, Dr. Tiffany. And that will conclude our Board of Education report. And at this moment, I will turn it over to Dr. Alfred for our superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening. Good evening. We want to just first start our superintendent's report with our SOAR and our Student of the Month. And we are so excited. This is our last one for this school year, but we are so excited to make recognition for this worthy cause. And I'm going to bring Ms. Shelia Friday forward to make these presentations. Thank you, Ms. Friday.
Good evening, Board of Education, Superintendent Alfred, incoming Superintendent Bronson, community members, my principals, and everyone else who's here who is looking. This is being live streamed. Okay, congratulations to our Scholars of the Month and the Superintendent Outstanding Achievement recipients. So our principals, can you guys come up as always? First of all, I want to thank the board for allowing us to tell our story. Dr. Elford, one of the things, your epiphanies that you always did, one of your epiphanies was, we need to tell our story. We need to highlight our teachers. We need to highlight our staff, and especially our scholars. So I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity. I don't know if you know, but we have highlighted 68 teachers under your leadership. As well as 70 students under your leadership. So thank you for the opportunity. Okay, Mariette. And if you can call down your scholar and your SOAR recipient. For those of you all who don't know, SOAR stands for Superintendent Outstanding Achievement Recipient. And what happens is the principals have the autonomy of selecting the person that they want to acknowledge every quarter. Afterwards, it is acknowledged and accepted by Superintendent Alfred. And so this is our last quarter for the school year. And so I'm going to turn it over to our principals, because nobody can tell the story like that.
Thank you, Ms. Friday. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. Teresa Dougherty, stand up for me, sir. Wonderful Mrs. Phillips. Ms. Phillips is a social worker by nature. She is amazing. She has been working with Teresa this year, and you can read what she said about him. But what I'm going to say is Teresa is one of the most kind and intelligent young men at Yates. Every time I come into his classroom, he's got a look of questioning. What are you doing here? What do you want? What are we doing together? What are we going to work on? Teresa has just been a light, and that is a reflection of the environment that he is thriving in. Congratulations, Teresa. Ms. Sherry Collins. Ms. Collins started or came to us as a PTO volunteer, and she just lit it up. She, I don't see her. Oh, there she goes. There she is. All right. Ms. Collins was one of my biggest supporters as a new principal in this district. There was an opening, and Mrs. Collins filled the gap of being the secretary while working on, unbeknownst to us, working on her certification. She is now doing double duty as fourth grade teacher and still supporting us as our secretary no matter what the call is. When the call comes in, she is answering the charge and making sure that Yates has everything they need. And she does it with a smile, graceful, foregoing lunch, foregoing her playing time, staying after school, coming early, making sure the ASAP reports. I can't stop talking about Ms. Collins because she is definitely the supporter and the backbone of Yates.
Small and tall and struggles.
That's right. Good evening, everyone. I am, for those, first of all, welcome and congratulations. We're so pleased to have you here. For those of you who don't know, I'm Sharon Spears, athlete, the astronomical proud principal of Neil Armstrong, with my partner at Success, Assistant Principal, Mrs. Tam Craigie. Today, I want to share with you some words about Miss London McDonald. Miss London, come on down here. Let's give her a hand. London has been a small astro scholar since 2016. Today, she stands before us as a 5th grade astro, ready to blast off from Neil Armstrong Elementary School to descend upon Colin Powell Middle School to become an eagle. I will not hold that against you. During her entire K-5 experience at Neil Armstrong Elementary School, Miss London has always been an exceed standards to A+, K through 5th. Even a pandemic could not stop her. Not only does she excel academically, she possesses a service heart. Under her leadership, she put together a small group of girls to commit to a community service proposal. They wanted to dedicate their recess time to help our fellow kindergartners make academic achievements and goals. She gave her proposal to me, and I told her only under the condition that she articulated said proposal to the teacher team, which she did, and I'm very, very proud of you for that. I am not the only tall astro that feels that way. Miss Mahalik, your 2nd grade teacher, says that she is a smart girl who rocks. Mr. Vermarco, your 3rd grade teacher, says that London holds the definition of a true friend at heart. When she sees another student or tall astro in need, she helps in any way possible. London strives to be the best that she can be in and out of the classroom and is a model student when it comes to showing respect and taking on different responsibilities. London has been a leader, and she guarantees she will continue to lead in all future endeavors. As we bring this school year to a close, it's not lost on me that London's promotion coincides with you, Dr. Alfred. I don't know if you realize that when you was a teacher at Higgins Elementary or Academy in CPS, her cousin, Curtis Jones, was your student. And her mom is also related to Mr. Clemens. So as the elders say, how kind is God? So please join me as we congratulate London for being Student of the Month. For our SOAR Award, we have tall astro Mrs. Claudia Boyd. Mrs. Boyd, come on down here. Baby, now, come on down here, Mrs. Boyd. Something that you may not know. Like many of us, when you lay eyes on a ladybug, your first inclination is to smile, right? Because it invokes a sense of childlike spirit. Spiritually speaking, ladybugs are considered symbols of good luck, genuine love, and a harbinger of transformation, and a blessing to all of those who come into its presence. At Neil Armstrong Elementary School, we have our very own ladybug, and she's known as Claudia Boyd. And seriously, no joke, come to Armstrong and you'll see ladybugs everywhere in the office. Our astro community could not have been blessed with a greater secretary than Claudia. They say secretaries are the ambassadors of any organization, as they are usually the first person they come in contact. This couldn't be further from the truth. Parents and visitors always comment upon how welcoming she is when they arrive. I often receive compliments of her warmth and their receipts of gratitude for making our office a very friendly, approachable place to visit. Every day she has the best interests of our students and staff at heart. She is a sounding board to anyone in need of a concerned ear. She seamlessly will transition from secretary to mom, secretary to big sister, secretary to friend, or in my case, a home girl. So many of us within our school community have struggled, and many have even continued to struggle in a post-pandemic world. And through it all, Claudia is right there to make it all better if she can. I have found her to stay after hours so mom can vent, visit someone's home, or give them a ring for an emotional wellness check. When I found myself at home due to COVID, she even drove to my home from Hazelcrest to bestow a personal kindness, and I continue to thank you for that. Cooperative believes in Neil Armstrong and the Armstrong community. Anytime there is an after-school event, our small Astro scholars and families are in attendance, so is Claudia. She is right there with me at every after-school event, right along with Mrs. Tancredi. This year was no exception, as she attended the Essence of Fatherhood Awards dinner, taking pictures, giving hugs, clapping, and cheering us all on. While I know how important Mrs. Boyd is to our school, it was never clearer than when she needed to take time off due to her surgery this year. The outpour from our school community upon her exit and her return was simply beautiful. As I told Mrs. Boyd before, you are the hub of the bus that keeps this wheel moving, called education. Thank you so much, Claudia. Lady Bud. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I am Rose Willard, the assistant principal at Cedar Prairie Elementary School. I stand here on behalf of Mrs. McCaskill, our principal, who could not be with us due to a death in her family. But again, I stand here on behalf of Mrs. McCaskill and the Cedar Prairie family. And we are here to celebrate our student of the month, Mr. Kelson Richardson. Kelson is here with his family, and he said something funny to his mom. He said, you know, since this is the last one, I'm really the student of the year. I love that about him. Kelson was chosen as student of the month because he is the most improved student in his class. He is self-motivated and such a hard worker. Kelson has increased 5 reading levels this year in reading. He has increased in all academic areas. He loves math. I know that much. Kelson met his grit goal in reading and math on the winter NWEA. He loves sharing his ideas when new concepts are being taught. He can barely contain himself because he so enthusiastically wants to share his thoughts. Kelson stands out in this dude's class because he is so motivated. You will catch him trying to help other students that may have fallen behind. He will always ask to help other students. He will walk them through whatever he feels they have missed. Kelson wants to make sure that no child is left behind. Kelson wanted to become a better reader, and he practices at home daily. When there is a math problem he does not know how to solve, he will constantly ask for more problems like that until he understands the steps to solve that problem. Congratulations to you, Chip Kelson, for being Student of the Month for Cedar Prairie School. Congratulations. Next, we have our SOAR Award recipient, Ms. Crystal Herrera. Crystal Herrera is Cedar Prairie SOAR Award recipient. Congratulations to you. Ms. Crystal Herrera is a first grade bilingual teacher at Cedar Prairie School who demonstrates leadership, and she is all about the kids and taking care of business. She serves in many capacities to help our school succeed. Ms. Herrera is our second grade team leader, Cedar Prairie social committee leader, union building rep, PBIS team member, mentor previous years, and our Boost Up pilot program teacher, and the list can go on. We are very grateful for all that Ms. Herrera does. I actual words, I need to say that. I love the way she and Miss Silva keep our display case looking nice, trendy, and up to date with encouraging slogans, titles, sayings, and artifacts. Likewise, Ms. Herrera keeps our bulletin board looking fabulous with her creative touch. Ms. Herrera has a fun nature, and she has a contagious smile and a wit about herself. She's also quite competitive, especially when she's supporting the Cubs baseball. Yeah! Go White Sox. That's our little school in-house joke between all of our staff who are Cubs fans versus White Sox fans. Truth be told, Ms. Herrera is quite the home run hitter herself, and she works hard daily in the classroom to give our students what they need and more. She exposes students to rich vocabulary and pictorial learning as needed for a bilingual classroom. Her creativity also shows up in her lessons and projects that she has the students complete. Her students are eager to come to class daily because of the nurturing, fun teacher that she is. Thank you, Ms. Herrera, for all that you do to help our school and for your willingness to help Cedar Prairie administration too. Keep soaring to the top. Continue to win no matter what. You're betting 1,000, and you're on the right team. Not the Cubs, your Sox. You're on the Cedar Prairie team. It is a home run.
Good evening, board members, and to visitors, and congratulations as well. I'm Dr. Antonia Hill. To those of you that may not know, I am the proud principal of the Woodgate Wildcats. On tonight, unfortunately, neither my SOAR award recipient could be here or my student of the month. She's out doing what she does best, well-rounded student. Not only is she great in academics, but athletics as well, so she's an attract meet on tonight. But Layla Hardy is our student of the month. I'm not going to read it, but just really to give you some highlights. I don't want to talk about her, and she's not here. But this student is an outstanding student, one of our, if not the top student at Woodgate School. Layla is a strong academic student. She is a helper. She is a leader, very compassionate. And I could go on and on and on and on about her. But the one thing that I can tell you about Layla is that Layla is unselfish. She is not I have to be the first. Her works speak for themselves. When she did not reach the goal that she wanted to reach on her NWA, her attitude was, I'll do better, but she had surpassed her goal by at least 6 or 7 points. But she wanted to really, really do exceeding, and that's just the type of student she is. Her teacher, if I could go ahead and say that, you all didn't create it, but I did. She's teacher of the year. Yes, she is. If you look at our data, she has the top scores of 3rd grades consistently since I have been here with Woodgate as the highest performing class of 3rd grade as a teacher here in District ESD 159. Miss Andrea Gardner is a teacher leader. She is on every team you could possibly think of, from a union building rep, I believe she has served as. She's also been on the math adoption committee. She's also on the curriculum committee. Every committee I believe we have, she is on it. And so again, I'm so sorry that she couldn't be here tonight. But again, Andrea Gardner is a gem of a teacher. Highly effective, highly engaging. I have parents begging, so to speak, to have their child in her room. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen because she's changing grade levels for next year. So, bye-bye now. Yes, I thought you were going to ask me to share your child. I thought you was coming that way. I'm like, wait a minute, no stop. But yeah, so she's I will do, no matter how big the task is. She is willing and able. She is so adamant about making a difference for children, and that I am so honored to have her as a teacher and to have her as a Woodgate Wildcat. So again, I'm sorry that she could not be here, but Ms. Andrea Gardner, congratulations.
Street, the principal of Cooperative Middle School. And I'm going to go off the script a little bit this evening because there's some consistency between our student, board recipient, and our staff member. Sometimes when you're going through something difficult, you begin to notice what's really important. Certainly grades are important, and scholastics and all those great things, but our student learning roles, not only is he positive, organized, efficient, outstanding student, the name that I've had for London for like the last 5 or 6 months has just been smiling. When you walk down the hallway, she has her mask on, but you can still see her smile. An infectious smile. And she's one of the students that will ask, how are you doing? That's different than what the normal has been, because when you're going through, that's not typical for students to do that, especially to adults. She'll ask, how are you? And you can see that she means it. That's important. That's important stuff. Because this core where we're supposed to be is about creating people, not just academics. But she's very zealous, tremendously outstanding in all of her endeavors. We're excited to know that London has been selected for this honor. Speaks highly of how well she was received by other staff. Come on up, London. Please give her a round. Oh, how can I forget this? So we have several team members in our building who are expecting their expected mothers. This young lady knitted blankets and hats for each one of them and delivered them. How awesome is that? That's the core of our meeting. If you walk into the halls, you will see Bernie welcoming our Eagles to the nest and lovingly redirecting and encouraging our students. Please do not underestimate the importance of such positive affirmations and what that means to students and staff. On a typical day, Bernie is in the classroom assisting students with work and helping the teachers create an environment conducive to learning. Most recently, I observed Bernie in action during a classroom observation where the class discussion centered around the Will Smith-Chris Rock incident. Bernie eloquently conveyed the importance of respect and caution for how we use our words and how an inability to do so can be detrimental. You can see the impact on the faces of the students who had not even considered what she has shared. That's powerful right there. During our lunch periods, Bernie is fully engaged with our students, reminding them of proper etiquette, participating in student discussions, and serving as a constant advocate of the eagle mentality, even under times of our own personal loss and grief. Bernie sought me out to comfort me with the loss of my brother. Her words of comfort strengthened me and helped me to make it through the day. Simply put, there is no job too big or small for Bernita Bernie Eccles. We love her to the itty bitty pieces. prosper. This person has been my right hand. Every Friday I submit newsletters to the staff, and I'm not the technical person that I'd like to be. Come on down, Ms. Dancy. Bridget Dancy, you know you're around the call. Ms. Dancy is like a Swiss Army knife. She knows how to do some of everything. In the classroom, if you come into our lab, our applied tech room, there are just statues almost, just projects this high of what students create. Always building something, always doing something. And as an administrator, when you walk in, my administrators know sometimes you walk in and the classroom atmosphere seems to be constructed or it's not authentic. It's there. It's there in the classroom. The kids love it. So I wanted to say this is a special sort of recipient recognition for all that you do, Bridget Dancy. Thank you so much.
Again, thank you, Board of Education, for allowing us to take out this time. I know it's time consuming, but we know how important it is, and to recognize our scholars, as we call them, and our SOAR recipients, so thank you so much. I just want to say something about London Rose, because I just met her the other day, and she walked in, she said, "How you doing? How's your day going?" And I looked at her, and I'm like, "My day is fine. How you doing with the Ncpa?" "Oh, I'm not worried about it. It's okay. It's just another test." And she went on and she had a real serious conversation, but mild at the same time. So she was so intriguing, and I just see her smile, and she's such a beautiful young lady. So I just wanted to tell you I really enjoyed our conversation. This concludes. By the way, so I just want you guys to know that each recipient received the SOAR recipient received the $50 gift card and a glass plaque. They also received a certificate created by Bridget Dancy. Likewise, our scholars of the month, they received a $25 gift card, medallion, and also a certificate. So lastly, we want to say, and this is inscribed on their award, known for their strength in flight, all eagles soar above the rest as one of the most majestic creatures in the sky. With power and balance, they fly miles above the earth, catching warm air currents to lift them thousands of feet into the air. Keen vision gives the eagles the ability to see far-off challenges, soaring through each pursuit with great success. With your success, we soar to new heights. So thank you so much for all you've done. And lastly, I got to thank my principals, because I know I get on your nerves sometimes with my emails and my calls, but you all are always working with me to recognize our children. And we do have a SOAR. Come on, we have a student of the month, a scholar of the month.
I'm sorry, but ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Layla Hardy. So, Dad, thank you for bringing Ms. Layla back. Again, I said some great stuff about you, girl. This is my whole shit. But everything I said was true. So again, I just wanted to congratulate Layla, one of our the top performing student in our school, third grade student who has been consistent over the years in her scores. Also, she was in our math bowl as well. When I asked her, how did we do, Layla? She said, well, we didn't win, but we did our best. And I'm like, what a great attitude to have when you represent the school. So again, hard-working student, very compassionate, very meticulous. Layla is very detail-oriented, even about her own work and even writing her own papers. She wants it to be perfect. And so dad has brought her here. Her mom is a second grade teacher at Woodgate. And again, even if you didn't know her mother was there, Layla stands on her own, and Layla does what she does, and she does it to the best. She is a true wildcat. So Layla, again tonight, congratulations to you.
Welcome. That concludes my presentation. Back to her.
Thank you, Ms. Friday. And again, I want to personally congratulate all the recipients that have been honored here tonight. This is what this is about. Can we give them another round of applause? It's all about recognizing our scholars and our staff for the work that they do. It's these small moments that I will miss. It's so many times, 6 years go by quick, but it's moments like this where we're able to recognize those who have done well in Elementary School District 159. So thank you, Mrs. Friday, thank you, principals, for believing in your staff, believing in your students, and carrying the dream of the SOAR Awards and Student of the Month Award forward. So thank you for that. We're going to move forward in our announcements and items. We had a wonderful teacher appreciation last Friday. It was an exciting day. It was a SEL day, but it was a day of self-care. The staff was excited about the gifts. They loved the classes. I can't tell you the number. I've never received this many emails from staff just thanking us, Board of Education, and myself for a wonderful time and wonderful gifts. And we just want to say that you deserve it and more. We wish we could have done more, but we thought that we would give you a day where you were pampered and you were able to let everything go and think about you. We know that we have teachers leaving the profession, we have staff quitting, and we know that this has been a difficult 2 years, and we wanted you to know that you are well appreciated. So thank you, you are so welcome, and thank you for the cards, the calls, and the emails. I just want to show just a board that wasn't there on last week, just a couple of pictures. Eddie, can you just show a couple of pictures of our amazing read out time? We all had red t-shirts on. We had red bags and red gifts. And they had a wonderful time. That was in the stretch game, in the stretch class. And this was yoga. This was the yoga class. This was the potting class. I think this was stretch as well. This was line dancing. I couldn't see it good, but they were practicing line dancing. And that was in the General Assembly area. Where we all gathered to have lunch. And I think at that time I was speaking, but Mr. Vice President Scott came and spoke to the team, and so did Mrs. Veronica Franklin, had words of encouragement to our staff. Okay, so thank you, and we would do it all over again if we could. So thank you. Next, I want to talk about graduation. Graduation for our 8th graders is set for Friday, May 27th at Victory Apostolic Church, 20801 Madison Avenue at 6 p.m. We hope all the Board of Education can be there on that time to honor our graduates. The graduates are also having a dinner dance on Wednesday, May 25th at 6 p.m. And it's going to be here at Colin Powell School. Our Lady Eagles track team. We want to thank them for taking first place. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you, Dr. Streeter, and thank your team, Mr. DeBose, and the other coaches for a job well done. Spring concert, our spring band concert is tomorrow night, Thursday, May 12th in Colin Powell Main Gym. And our band is also first place winners in their band sectional. So this was a couple months ago, we do want to honor them as well. So we have a lot of first place at Colin Powell. So can we give it up for Colin Powell? Student attendance. Board of Education, you have the student attendance report inside of your packets. For the month of April, our attendance is remaining a little stagnant. We're at 90%, 90.85% at Colin Powell, 91.76 at Murray Yates, 90.02 at Neil Armstrong, 86.84 Seton Prairie, and 92.29 Woodgate, and 76.36 Woodgate preschoolers. We know that preschoolers are, they come and go, so theirs is a little low, but that's good. Construction update. We are moving along inside of your packet, Board of Education. You have pictures of the new STEM district facility site, some updated pictures. Mr. Leslie could not be here tonight, but some of the notes are that ComEd has completed the power installation. That was a long time coming, so thank you, scholars, thank you, parents, for coming tonight. ComEd has finished the power installation, and that was key for them to complete the rest of the work. So they had said in one of the meetings that once ComEd completed the power installation, it would only be about 3 weeks out for completion. The site stabilization is starting on Friday, and it is also going to appear on the agenda. But they're starting that Friday, and that's where the stabilization, where they're going to actually fill in the parking lot with concrete and then put the asphalt over that because the ground is not stable. Paving is scheduled for next week. The flooring installation is scheduled for next week. They've been in their painting. Painting has been ongoing, and they're in their painting now. Interior lighting is 90% complete. The landscaping will follow the paving. And following the paving, we will begin to schedule walkthrough with the Board of Education. So as soon as we get to that point, I will have Janice to send out invites for walkthroughs. And with that, we're going to move into our business section, and Mrs. Owens had to go out of town, but she is on Zoom and back of us, but she has Cheryl Coleman here, and between Mrs. Owens and I, we will, but Cheryl is capable, but we're here to answer any questions. So Cheryl, you can start with IGDT. One of the things is with the Richmond Park intergovernmental agreement, we're going to ask that be tabled. Richmond Park wanted more time, and they wanted to make some other proposals. So if we could table that, Madam President. Okay.
Good evening, President, Board of Education, family, staff. I am presenting the IDGT proposal. This proposal has been revised with more of a flat rate. There are some printing items that will result in a reimbursement to the architect. However, these projects are not major and do not necessitate an architect. Therefore, we recommend these projects be completed without architectural services. At this time, we do not have a project that requires the services of an architect.
And I think, there was a recommendation of Mrs. Owens, because of the cost of the architect, some of those projects only cost about that much. So she was making a recommendation that we do some of those projects without an architect.
Yeah, so would you all be explaining what IDGT decided to do? Was under the impression that they decided to remove pretty much all of the fees and fines that it costs for traveling and things like that to be able to get work done in our district?
Yes, they did, but based off of the pricing of some of the items, it would still be more beneficial if we did not utilize them, because the cost would be more by the time we pay for the project as well as to pay for the services for the increase.
I would like to possibly table that as well, so that we don't make a vote to decline them and an opportunity for them to come out and explain.
And it give us opportunity to talk further with Mrs. Owens, who have done some research.
I would just like to say a little bit so that people in the audience will understand what this is about. We had some minor projects that needed to be done in 3 of our buildings. In Colin Powell, we were replacing damaged bench seating at the gymnasium. At Sea Prairie and Woodgate, relocation of basketball courts. At Armstrong, brick tuck pointing. And so these were projects that are going to amount to $16,000 with the use of an architectural firm. And what they're saying right now is they don't see that these projects require an architect. But we just got some of the information tonight, so we just want to wait until we get more.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Moving to the next item, Ncpa Cooperative Agreement. This cooperative agreement will allow us to purchase boilers as well as the boiler system. This is a co-op company that will allow us to purchase the boilers, and we are proposing that we are able to sign up with them so that we can be able to purchase the boilers that's needed for the radiators that needs to be replaced before winter hits 2022. And we're in other cooperatives as well, but this cooperative, every cooperative actually have certain products, and this cooperative have boilers. And so, and all cooperatives are vetted by the state. No cooperative that we can select has not been vetted and on the list by the state of Illinois. It's no cost. No cost. No cost. I apologize. No cost. It's just approval needed. Right. Anytime we move to a cooperative, we have to have board approval. But it's no cost. What it is that we purchase through them. So we'll be purchasing boilers through them, and kind of cut out the middleman of the bidding process. So you go through the cooperative, like we did for the playground equipment. We purchased through the cooperative, the existing cooperative that we were a member of.
Essentially, there will be a cost for the boilers, we just don't prove that. So
Yes.
we're approving them to now seat the boilers, and then we will come back and vote to approve
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
Okay.
Correct.
Is this like the only company that's available to us? How did we land with them?
This is a company that's cooperative of many multiple vendors.
Yes.
That's vetted by the state of Illinois. So what will happen is we will, if approved, we will present what we're needing, the equipment, and then what they will do is seek out between those vendors and send us multiple vendors, and then we go from one of those to keep us from having to go out for bid.
Okay, let me rephrase it. This is the only cooperative available to us.
No, we have several cooperatives, but this
I'm
cooperative.
talking about this one that does boilers. Is this the only cooperative that
That
offers
offers
boilers in our area?
That question I will have to check with Mrs. Now, I'm quite sure there may be other cooperatives, but Mrs. Owens vetted the cooperative to see their how they operate and who their vendors were, and so she vetted that cooperative, and that's why we lean on that. But she could tell you more about why she selected that cooperative. But there are a list of state cooperatives, and but we have this will be our third cooperative. that we're a member of. We've been a member of the other two, they just do not have boilers. Companies that service boilers.
Next item, just a dash, we are presenting the signature and voting for renewal for our food service program. At the current time, seems that our students are enjoying the meals, and next week we are seeking to have at least 15 to 16 students pre-selected from all 5 buildings to participate in a taste testing to help Just a Dash select our menu for next school year.
Can the board be invited to that as well?
Sure. I'll make sure you guys get all the information. Next item, it is the change order stabilization. The change order was discussed during the special board meeting and agreed to and do require board actions. Sorry, and now require board actions.
At the special meeting, we had it on the agenda, but we didn't have it as an action item. So now we have it as an action item and it has to be voted on accordingly.
Next agenda is the site renovation bid award. We advertised twice for this project and received one very costly bid, about $700,000 over our estimated project cost. TRIA is recommending that we award the bid based on the district needs. So basically, we did go out as part of the process. We advertised twice to move forward with the site renovation, which would allow us to have concrete done, curbs, as well as drainage. And with that, would assist us with getting the playgrounds installed. So we are recommending that we move forward with this company, because this is the only company that did come out and come in for the bid. A lot of the other companies did not come out because to them it was considered a small project. And we just didn't get a chance to get as many bids.
And there's so many large projects going on with the ESSER funds. There are other projects and a lot of construction companies closed down. So those that are still available took those larger jobs because school districts are putting on additions. They're erecting new buildings with the ESSER funds, and the ESSER funds are going to run out in about a year. So those contractors are going to other districts, and because of the times that we're in, the supply and demand issues, it's difficult to get a contractor.
So just to confirm, I know previously in our past board meetings, we were making recommendations to not only post it in the local newspaper or in the Chicago Tribune. So did we have this posted on our district website? Did we have it posted within the village? We had it posted on all sites so that we can make sure that we're catering or broadcasting to a bigger audience?
Yes. We even called those gentlemen that were here that night. We called them personally. Ms. Owens called them personally.
And the consortium, I can recall the name, that they said they could work with us in getting access to minority-owned companies that could potentially do some of our work. We contacted them as well.
Yes, ma'am. I was there part of both of those bidding, pre-biddings, and no one actually came out for the bids. We did have a gentleman that did suggest us for, I don't want to misspeak, I apologize, the actual organization, but it was for Hispanic organizations as well as African American organizations, and we reached out to everyone. And a lot of the vendors were basically saying, like Alfred said, due to the cost, they were taking larger projects, and some of the other vendors that were smaller could not handle the magnitude of this project. So it was too small for some and too large for others.
So can you tell us again what this overpayment, what this payment amount is that is above the projected amount? You said, what is the cost of the project?
So initially we were projecting somewhere around over $900,000, a little under $1 million. That's what we were projecting this project would cost. but the bid came in at 1.6 million.
And we can't negotiate that down. We can't negotiate because that's like essentially double the cost. It seems to me that we should be able to try and negotiate it, just accepting what it is, or are we trying to negotiate?
I could definitely speak to Mrs. Owens about this regardless of negotiation when it comes to this bid, but I definitely know we've been back and forth with this project for the last maybe 3-4 months, as well as working with multiple vendors and speaking with, trying to move forward so that we can be sure to use those grants and funds so that we can get the playground built for next school year so we can make sure that our students enjoy it outside. But yes, we have been working diligently on this.
And the playgrounds are ready and waiting to be installed, but we have to improve the areas where the playgrounds will be housed and the drainage of those areas, and that's what this project will do in addition to the sidewalks and the parking lots at the school. So it's those areas as well. But we had anticipated about a little over 900,000, and it came in a lot higher than what we had anticipated.
So initially, before we started working with IDGT, we also had DLV who came in and did small projects so that they can go forward with some of our other projects, including the playgrounds. Were they not at this meeting because they were highly interested in the beginning? So I'm just trying to see what happened.
They're an architect firm. They're not a contractor. Remember, we're at the bidding stage. So at this stage, only contractors bid. So no, the DLA would not have bidded on this because they are architects.
Right, but I remember them bringing in a whole layout of the playgrounds, of what they can do for us, that they have contractors, they gave us a quote on their pricing and everything. Even though they were architects, they already did our complete layout. So I'm trying to.
No, that was TRIA.
They did it as well.
They did too, it was TRIA and DLA, so they did so we've already had a pricing with them and everything, so I'm just gonna,
so DLA will not be the one that does the work. They will do what TRIA has already done, and they will give us an estimate cost, and then they will actually help us to prepare the bid specs and put it out to bid.
So if you guys don't mind, I honestly would also like to table that and we just have a meeting with DLA just to see why they gave us the proposal in that set amount, and then we're going with a company that's $700,000 for. We wouldn't want to do that.
The next item we have is the transfer of funds. At this time, transfer of funds, do you want to just allow John?
Okay, John.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So, would you like to explain the process or?
Absolutely.
Then we're just looking for an explanation as to the process of these transfers and dates.
Okay. It's sort of a matter of timing. The district needs to, it has cash on hand and several funds that you want to use for your upcoming building projects. And so first there's a rule from the state board, accounting wise, that if you're going to spend money for capital purposes, it has to be put into the capital project
the funds that we have. So I'm just wanting to confirm the reasoning of transferring more of the $5 million.
Did you hear that?
I could not hear that, no.
We have money from the ESSER funds allocated for our capital projects already. So why do we need to have a total of $5 million moved from transportation and operations and maintenance into the capital funds account?
If you don't move the money that is there in transportation, you will have an excess accumulation in that fund come June 30th. So the time to move it is now. And the reason to get it into capital projects is that you're going to use that. That's part of the money that you're going to use for the capital projects. I can't speak to the amounts, but that's the reason why we're using those funds and doing it at this time.
Is there another account that we can move those funds to that would be an account where we can use it in kind of more loosely? Because what I believe President Morton is saying is that we have enough funds that we've already allocated for capital funds. So why would we put an additional $5 million into that particular account? Is there another account that we can allocate to?
I believe the reason.
No, I presume you could leave some of that money in the education fund because you're not going to have an excess accumulation in the education fund. That's where you spend most of your money and where you get most of your money. So the proportions there, you're not likely to have what they would call, the courts would consider an excess accumulation. I don't know how much you're allocating. It would put money in the capital project fund unless you expect to spend it for capital projects because there is no mechanism for transferring money out of capital projects. It's easy to get it in. Once it's in that fund, they only need to spend it. So, I don't know where I didn't develop the numbers, but if you're going to try to get the balance down and the balance down in transportation, it's important to do that before the end of the fiscal year. And then the Owens was saying, well, we want to put that money into the capital projects fund. So I said, okay, well, that's the next step. If you want to leave it in that fund, that's probably safe as far as the tax objections go, because you won't have an excess accumulation in the ed fund. And then if you need to use some of it later, you can always transfer that money later in the year. So she have to address the exact numbers, but what I was concerned about was getting the balance down in the transportation fund and the tort fund because you have an imbalance there. Those two funds currently have more money than you will need for a couple of years in those funds. So you need to get those balances down by the end of the year.
Okay, well, while we understand that, you're saying if you put it into the capital funds account, we can't move it anymore, we have to spend it from there. So my question again is there, you're saying the education account is one that we would have the best opportunity to move those funds around? We have allocated funds for the capital projects this year, so to put an additional $5 million that we don't know that we can spend right now, I'm not fully understanding that decision. And so the question is, what other account could we put the funds in? If we want to use it somewhere else, we could transfer from there.
Well, I'd go back to the education fund. I don't know why. Because I always thought that all that money was going to go then for the capital projects. If you don't think you're going to spend it all on capital projects, then I put it in the ed fund and leave it there.
Okay, thank you.
But the
Okay, so what I'm understanding is we can get it out of tort, we can get it out of operations and management and put it into the educational fund. And if we need to use it in the capital fund later, we can take it from the educational fund and transfer it back to capital funds. But if we put it in capital funds right now, we're stuck.
You're stuck, meaning you have to spend it.
Exactly.
Right. We don't want to, although we do have quite a few capital projects that we do need to look into, we want to at least have the option to whether we want to spend it on our kids or we want to spend it on the building. So I think that's how we stand as a board, correct?
That's exactly what we want to do.
Okay, so that would be what we would want to do too, because we know for sure we have that money for our capital projects in our ESSA funding. So we want to make sure that money is going back to our kids, especially the last 2 years being that they have lacked in the educational department. So,
We'll convey that message to the zone.
okay.
And so the papers that we have in front of us now will be changing the language. When will we get the opportunity to see the revised version and make sure we're not putting this in front of the public and putting this in the paper and make sure it's done the way that we need to have it done?
Our office will get you the right.
Right, and the revised version doesn't require a special meeting or anything like that. It just requires a signature from the board president to sign saying that we all agree. So we will make sure that we all agree prior to my signature anyway.
And that we all get a copy of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. The only reason why I would want to put some in capital projects is Ms. Owens can actually say that we're in low balance of the projects that we've already started. That hasn't been brought to our attention, so we certainly would want to put in education balance before anything.
Thank you, Attorney Izzo.
Anything else, John?
No, thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Good evening.
The next agenda is the STEM expenditures and BMO. Monthly expenditures, those are in your packet for your review. And the next agenda after that is the fund balance month-by-year comparison. March 2022, our beginning balance was $38,098,840.11 compared to our 2021 balance, beginning balance, $35,560,481.39. Revenue for March 2022, $36,189,363.18 versus 2021, $31,466,585.87. Our expenses, $27,337,801.48 versus 2021, $22,957,860.45. No transfers. Our fund balance for 2022 of March is $47,250,401.81 versus last year, March 2021 fund balance of $44,069,206.81.
Thank you. And just for transparency, we also still, Chris, have money sitting that we're asking to borrow from, which is the total amount of how much? No, the transfer funds, we have the $47,250,401.81 on, and then we also have in reserve, what's the total amount?
I don't know what this total is. Is Janisa still on there?
Janisa, just so that they'll know that we have, I want to say the last time it was like 59 million or something like that. Am I right?
We're talking about fund balances for during negotiations?
Yeah,
That was 38 million.
38 million still in reserve.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
That is the fund balance. That's the fund balance.
Right, fund balance. Plus the 47 million.
No, just one number.
One number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any more questions of Mrs. Owens, who is on the screen, or Mrs. Coleman, who graciously stood in for Mrs. Owens in her absence? Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Coleman. And with that, Madam President, I give my report.
Thank you. At this time, I will turn it over to our Secretary, Mrs. Phillips, for the audience to visitors.
The Board of Education Public Comment Forum. Thank you for attending the Board of Education meeting. The following policies and procedures will be followed for those persons requesting to make public comments. The guidelines are as follows. Comment forms submitted after the start of the regular board meeting will not be addressed. The Board of Education will not engage in a debate. If a comment or question requires additional research or data, the district will post such information to the district website within 5 business days of the board meeting. All responses to questions may be viewed under the Board of Education drop-down menu at www.dist159.com. The Board of Education meeting is a business meeting held in public. Please note that the Board of Education's practices requires the members not respond to the public. Attendees are advised to refrain from making comments to the Board of Education as well. If you are unable to speak, you may submit your comment in writing and it will be shared with each board member. The Board of Education recognizes the rights and desires of the public to express their thoughts concerning the school district by way of making a public comment. Anyone wanting to address the Board of Education should do so in an orderly manner during the public comment portion of the meeting. In order to ensure an orderly meeting, however, comments, disruptions, and/or outbursts during the business portion of this meeting will not be permitted. If members of the public disrupt the Board of Education's meeting, we will take any and all steps necessary in order to ensure that proper decorum is reestablished. This can include such persons being removed from the premises so that we can accomplish the necessary business of the board. We thank you for your cooperation and your understandings. Persons making public comments will be allowed 3 minutes. The Board of Education may extend or reduce the time limits at its discretion, and the Board of Education will limit the number of public comments on a particular topic or issue. If you are a member of a group or organization involved in the same issue, you should coordinate your comments with others to avoid repetition. And I wouldn't say that this is necessarily a comment, but it's a SEL gratitude. Social emotional learning is for everyone. We had a great event at Colin County, and in line with Dr. Albert, allow me to say, relax on me, and thank you for the opportunity to work for Elementary School District 159. This is Mrs. Dana Ash. I wanted to formally say thank you, as well as for you, so you can see my face and know who I am in regards to the district, as well as enjoy on us, because SEL is important and it's for everyone. So it's your opportunity to take time out to think and relax and enjoy yourself. So it is if you don't drink wine, you can give the wine away, but it also is a candle. It is a nice candle with that's the scent of the wine, where a nice double bath and a nice candle always is like relaxing. And we all need that. So thank you.
I'm speechless. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate my favorite place.
President Morton, that's all of the comments that we have for tonight.
All right, thank you. So that concludes our audience of visitors. And for the first time in a long time, we do not have to go into closed session. So at this time, I would like to make a motion to approve our agenda tonight. So motion? Yeah, so motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Phillips, second by Ms. Franklin.
And I will do each one individually for our board members who may want to vote separately. So the first motion is to approve the open and closed session minutes for the April 13, 2022 meeting minutes and the April 11th and 25th special meeting minutes. Motion?
Motion. Motion by Mr. Scott.
Second.
Second by Mr. Phillips. Roll call Brown.
Yes.
Edgecombe. Franklin. Morton.
Yes.
Palmer. Phillips.
Yes.
And Scott.
Yes.
Motion to approve the accounts payable and payroll as follows. Payroll for April 8, 2022 and $797,839.08. And payroll for April 22, 2022 of $1,029,351.61. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Phillips.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Brown. Roll call Brown. Edgecombe. Franklin.
For clarity, it is payroll and payables?
So payroll for April, no, I didn't do payables yet. I just did the two payrolls.
Okay, yes.
I know this board now. Payroll for April 8 and payroll for April 2022.
Okay, Franklin. Yes. Morton.
Yes.
Palmer. Yes. Phillips.
Yes.
And Scott.
Yes.
Motion to approve accounts payables through April 30th, 2022 in the amount of $2,175,160.51. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Scott.
Second.
And second by Ms. Phillips. Roll call Brown.
No.
Edgecombe. Franklin. Morton.
Yes.
Palmer.
Accounts payables. She said yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
And Scott.
Yes.
Motion to table number 4, number 7, and number 8. Number 4 being approval of IDGT proposal. 7, approval of the site renovation bid award. And number 8, approval of transfer of funds. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Scott, second.
Second.
By Ms. Phillips. Roll call Brown.
Yes.
Edgecombe. Franklin.
Yes.
Morton.
Yes.
Palmer. Phillips.
Yes.
And Scott.
Yes.
Motion for the approval of Just a Dash FSMC contract renewal for fiscal year 2022 and 2023. Motion?
Motion by Ms. Brown. Second by Ms. Franklin. Brown.
Yes.
Edgecombe. Franklin. Morton.
Yes.
Palmer. Phillips.
Yes.
And Scott.
Yes.
Motion for approval of the change order stabilization as discussed at our last meeting. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Scott.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Morton. Roll call Brown.
Yes.
Edgecombe. Franklin. Morton.
Yes.
Palmer. Phillips.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Motion to approve certified staff employment, Marilyn Dew, retirement, second grade teacher at Cedar Prairie School. Monique Burry, hired long-term substitute at Colin Powell Middle School. Marilyn Arnold, hired long-term substitute interventionist at Dale Armstrong. And Alexander Hernandez, resignation for seventh grade ELA at Colin Powell Middle School. Motion?
Motion by Mrs. Brown. And second by Mrs. Franklin. Roll call Brown.
Yes.
Edgecombe. Franklin. Morton.
Yes.
Palmer. Phillips.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Motion to approve the support staff employment and termination. Dante James, resignation, interim director of buildings at district office. Norwood Ledbetter, hire custodian floater district-wide. And termination of custodian at Woodgate, as discussed in closed session. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Scott, second by Mrs. Franklin. Roll call Brown. Edgecombe. Franklin. Morton.
Yes.
Palmer. She said yes. Phillips.
Yes.
And Scott.
Yes.
And motion to approve the supplemental pay for our mentors at each building. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Scott, second by Ms. Phillips. Roll call Brown. Edgecombe. Franklin. Morton.
Yes.
Palmer. Phillips.
Yes.
And Scott.
Yes.
And thank you all so much for coming out to our board meeting scheduled for May 11th. We do have juice, cookies, as well as our new superintendent coming on board where you guys can come, introduce yourselves, and just give a little meet and greet briefly. That concludes our board meeting, so motion to adjourn.
Motion by Ms. Franklin.
Second.
And second by Ms. Phillips.
Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you all, and please remember to please come out for our official, what do you want to call it, reception for Dr. Tiffany Brunson, which will be our next board meeting scheduled in June. So let your colleagues know, your principals, if you have any stakeholders that you know of, any parents, please let them know to come out to our formal reception for Dr. Tiffany Brunson and welcome her aboard to Elementary School District 159. Thank you all.